conversation. But welcome everybody to the Q&A and of course bingo card sales. If you've not met me yet this cruise, I don't know where you've been, but believe it or not, I do meet people and they go, "Oh, so you're Andy?" And I'm like, "Where have you been?" Which is fine if you're having a good time and you've not met me. I don't mind. I'm not the be all and end all. I'm definitely not. You can have fun without going to any activities, you know. But the people that get angry at me because it's like, "You're nowhere to be seen," and I'm like, "Where have you been?" "My cabin." If I'm in your cabin, be worried, you know. Came out without a microphone at this point. God's first day on the job. But anyway, this is our Q&A, folks. This is where you can ask any question you want. You know, you can ask about what it's like to live and work on a cruise ship, any personal questions, any burning questions that you have, ask me, all right? The only thing I ask you not to do is use this as a format to voice your complaints. If you have any complaints, find me off the stage. Many of you have. Find me off the stage. Talk to me, let me know, and I'll listen to you and we can have a chat. But don't use this as a format to kind of telling me how much you hate me and how much you hate the cruise. Kind of kills the vibe a little bit. So just, you know, if you do start complaining at me, I'm not gonna lie, I'll go full comedian on you and I will rip you, alright? So don't try and do it, alright? Also, the only question I don't answer is how much money that any of the crew members make.
Attention medical response team, deck 0 forward by the paint store. Medical response team, deck 0 forward by the paint store for drill only.
What a muppet! You're supposed to say for drill only first, you... Wait a second. I'm gonna complain. I think you're on speakerphone right now, so don't swear. I'm just with on the Q&A in the theatre. Whoever did the announcement for the medical response, can you let them know that we have to do for drill only first? Because everybody in the stream started panicking and got very concerned, and then at the end it's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, for drill, JK." Francis? Thank you. Thank you, sir. He's a man of few words. He just was like, "Cheers." I can't believe for drill only. Yeah. Got you worried, didn't I? Oh my goodness. Anyway, yeah, so you can ask any question you like. The only thing we don't ask is how much money we make, because, you know, it's not really the format for that, you know, because, you know, it's not the politest thing to ask anybody in life, and believe me, it's not enough. So ask me anything you like. So if anyone would like to start us off, just put your hand up and I'll pick you. Yes, ma'am, Beck. How did I get into it? I got into it because I had a lot of unpaid parking tickets. Had to get out of the country somehow. I got into it completely by accident. I got into it because I used to be a stand-up comic and I used to be a radio presenter. And I did that, and all I wanted to do was travel. That's all I liked to do was travel. I like to go places. I've been a lot of places, and I'm very blessed to that. But I didn't really earn that much money doing what I was doing. So I did a TV show with this guy, and he used to work for Royal Caribbean. And he worked for that, and he was a cruise director. And I'd never been on a cruise in my life. Never been on a cruise. When I grew up, I went to caravan parks in Weymouth and Wales and went to Greece every now and again. I never could afford to go on a cruise. So I never went on a cruise ship in my life, didn't know anything about it, didn't know what a cruise director was, but he told me, he's like, "Oh, you just host things." And I was like, "Okay, cool, I like hosting, I like doing comedy, so cool, wicked, that could be a good job for me." I applied, didn't get it, so didn't realise it was a really high up job. You're a senior officer. I applied, got through to the final stage interview, didn't get it. And I left it a year, kept doing my bits and bobs, and then it kind of was getting sick of working on land, so I looked again and I saw Carnival, and then I saw the job as a fun squad, and more specifically the comedy club manager. And I was like, oh well, that's literally everything I do in one job, and I get to travel, and it was like an epiphany moment, you know. It was like, oh my god, I get to do stand-up, I get to do hosting, and all these things. And so I applied for that, and I got it, and I came here. And then I thought I'd only do one contract, but it turns out that the people in the office liked me, which was good. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. And then I stuck around. I thought, oh, maybe I'll give this a go as a career. So yeah, and now I'm here 5 years later. Yeah. Everyone says one contract. But that's me though, you know, it's a different story for these folks. In case you don't know these two, this is Matt, he's your cast manager. He's in charge of all the playlist cast on board. He also, Matt was actually a big part. Did anyone see the crew talent show? This is the gentleman that did all the rehearsals with them, arranged it, and got the show up and running. So without him, it wouldn't have happened. So give a round of applause. And of course, we have Deshaun over here. He's one of your playlist singers. You've probably seen him around. He's very good. He also has been doing some workshops and teaching people how to sing or cruise long. So yeah, so it's good. But how did you get into cruising, Deshaun?
Well, so back in the day when I was still in college, my mom goes on a bunch of cruises. She's been on like 25 cruises with Carnival. And she was like, oh, you could do that. You could do the playlist shows. And I was like, oh, okay. So I looked into it and then kind of got scared off for other reasons. Went to college. And then after college, because I was a vocal major and a dance minor, and you can't really, go into a well-paying job with that degree. So I was like, what am I gonna do? So I was working as a bartender, and then I joined Backstage.com and got my first job in Nashville, Tennessee on a showboat. Yeah. I was on General Jackson's showboat, and a bunch of my co-workers there, 4 of them had worked with Carnival. 4 of them had worked with Carnival. And one of them worked with Carnival for like 15 years, and he was like, you should definitely try out for Carnival cruise lines. And I was like, okay. And so I ended up getting an agent I've been looking at this agent for a while, and she only does cruise ships. So I finally sent her a reel, and she signed me that day. And then she was like, do you have any other reels to make one? I was like, sure. And so I sent her like a dance reel, just from like dances I post on TikTok and stuff. And then like some singing that I would do on TikTok, and I made a reel of those. Sent it to her. She was like, thank you. She sent it to Carnival, and then 2 days later I got a job offer for the Carnival Sunrise. And stuff fell through for that one. Didn't get that one. She was like, but I feel like we can get you something else. So I waited and waited and waited. And then about 2 weeks after that, I got this job offer. So yeah, Carnival happened. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, like what Deshaun just said, it's one of those things where it kind of comes out of nowhere. It's like the path was all laid out ahead of you, and you just get guided to it. I went to college in London, and they would always talk about performing on cruise ships, and I was like, you could do that? I was like, your ships are big enough. I'd never seen a cruise ship. I didn't know anybody that had ever been on one. So I was like, oh, cool, that's a thing. Okay, whatever. So after my second year, I left college, and I went to a different one, closer to home. And they were like, we want to send you down to an audition for Experience. So I was like, okay. I was like, what's it for? And they said it's for Costa Cruises. And I was like, oh, there's a cruise ship thing that the other college was talking about. So I went along just for experience. I ended up getting a job at Costa. I was with them for 4 years and kind of used that to better my training, because there's no better training than out in the industry, right? Sometimes it's just better to throw yourself in the deep end and see what happens. And it was one of those things where before even stepping on the ship, I was like, this is something I'm gonna love. I was born and raised in South Africa, moved to the UK, and then when I saw the ship and we were in Italy, I was like, this is wild, and I just haven't stopped since. That was 10 years ago now, almost 11. So I just love it. It's so good. So it is one of those things that when you go to college and you study performing arts, you kind of get guided into it, and then from there you can kind of do what you want yourself out of that.
Yes, sir. Do they rotate us between ships? Yes, they do. When it comes to every crew member on board has a contract for a certain amount of time. They vary. The average length is about 6 months. Mine is 9 months. Yours is about 6 to 9 months as well. But then you finish halfway through your contract, you get an evaluation, and then you kind of can pick what your next ship is going to be. For me as a cruise director, it's a little bit different. They put me where they want me to be, depending on where they think I'm going to do well, or maybe there's a cruise director that's not doing too well in a certain area, and they go, "Oh, you're doing all right, Andy. Let's put you here to make it better." Or not to say that, but just other cruise directors in general. Like Savannah coming to take over me because she's better than me. Different things like that, but. No, there's like for instance, in Australia they like to have English and Aussies cruise directors. That's the kind of, they only seem to usually get those cruise directors there. So that's why I'm going to go to Australia, because they like English people as much as they may say they hate us and call us poms. It's okay, it doesn't hurt me. What? It's meant in love, exactly. So little things like that. But yeah, we do rotate. Like for instance, I'm going to be here. I leave in December for 8 weeks for a vacation, and then come back here in January. But then in May next year, I'll be on the Freedom in America. Matt over here, he's going to go, not to speak for you, but he's going to the Mardi Gras, which is one of the brand new ships, as he plays cast manager. Very, very good effort. Sean, do you know where you're going next? Say it, yeah.
Okay. So I got an offer for the Carnival Elation for my next contract, and I declined it. But for the reason that it starts January 2nd, and my older brother gets married in February, so I want to be home for that. Yeah, he wants me to sing. He wants me to sing for free though. So.
Yeah, we do rotate a lot. See you in January. Oh, you're coming back? I'm on January 25th. You'll be on my first cruise. I'll see you there. Oh, yes, man. Do we have nicknames for the beautifully decorated ship? You've got a few? We call it, this ship is the Pink Lady. We call her the Pink Lady. Or Acid Trip.
I was gonna say, for me, it's kind of like Jimi Hendrix threw up.
Yeah. Elton John's what's it called? Elton John's shed. That's what I call it. Yeah. Little things like that. Yeah. The pink what? Oh my. I can't understand what she's saying, but then she did this, and I still don't understand. What I thought you were saying was completely different to what. I don't know what that means. The pink. B-I-T. Bit. Sorry, I apologise. I thought you said two other letters as well. I thought like female dog. And I was like the pink. I was like. The mouth on Yuka. Yeah, well, I told you this the other night, but it's a funny story. This ship, the guy that designed Carnival, he designed 4 Carnival Conquest class ships. This was the last one he designed, and he got fired. True story. They were like, enough's enough, mate. And he's like, yeah, I've got an idea for a ship. It's with pink dots everywhere. Bear with me. And then it's gonna be like zebra seats in the El Morocco, palm trees. Even though we don't go to Morocco or anywhere like that, why not? Fires. Any other questions, sorry? Yes, ma'am. God bless you. God bless you, man. It depends on the job, you know. The question she asked was, a lot of the crew members don't seem to get that much sleep because we're working so much. So what's the average rest time? This cruise is a bit of a different one. This is a different beast, a different animal. Sea days are obviously the hardest things for crew members because we're working constantly. And the port days are the days that we actually get time to relax, you know. For instance, and on this cruise we had 5 ports. 6. Woo! We had 6 ports, you know, so it depends again on the job, you know, it depends on the job. Entertainment, you know, fun squad, on average, I make the schedule. I try and make it as easy as possible and give them as much rest as possible because I believe the quantity over quality of work sometimes, you know. I could spread them very, very thin and do 20,000 different things, but then they'll be on stage like this. It'd be awful, you know what I mean? So I'd rather than do some good stuff. I mean, they have a lot of work to do. They do so many trivias and so many things, and they help me out. That's kind of the job is to, because I don't have time to do certain things, so they like set up things for me, and they did a very good job. Yeah. You know, housekeeping, for instance, you know, they have very long hours. You know, those port days are very valuable to them because when you're off the ship, they can clean the rooms and stuff like that. But they have a certain quota of rooms they have to clean per day. Photo team, they have to take at least 200 pictures a day. That's the quota, they have to do that. So if you ever see them being a bit pushy, it's because they have to be. Because if they don't take 200 pictures, they will get told off, you know. Not told off, we're not exactly like, yeah, you're Beth, do this, take the picture. You know, it's not like that. But they have to do it. I don't know why I was German. I'm sorry for any Germans, I apologize. But they do that. But, you know, we do get rest hours, but the reason we fly under Panamanian flag is because if we were to fly under an American flag, we have to follow American employment laws, which would be impossible for us to operate. Like, for instance, I believe in America, and I'm not sure about Australia, I apologize, but I know in America, for instance, if you finish work, you have to have at least 8 hours before you start work again. That does not exist on ships. I will go to sleep and I'll wake up 5 hours later and I'll be at work. You know, things like that, you know.
Do you have something to market with? That's just like a catch thing, like a full.
No, yours is the same, but it's just different. Under your so like Playlist Cast, for instance, they no one gets a day off on board, other than a few different positions. Playlist Casts get one. Singers in general, musicians get a day off. Some officers, and I believe the casino, some people in the casino get a day off. Nobody else gets a day off. I've not had a day off since March. That's it. Since March 1st. Yeah, since March 1st. And then, not March 1st, March 8th, I apologise. March 8th. Whoop-de-doo. And I won't have a day off until December 1st. So 9 months straight, no day off.
Whoa.
Do you want to know my favourite comment is of guests? Every now and again, a guest will come up to me and say, Andy, you look tired. And I love it because I'm like, thank you so much. Because you basically just come up to me and go, Andy, you look like trash. I was like, thank you so much. We're giving me that, oh yeah. This cruise has been a blessing. Every time we go back an hour, we're like, oh heavens!
1 hour!
I love it. Because when I was on the cruise in March, without guests, and we came from Dubai to Seattle, and we went forward an hour every 2 days, and my body did not know what was happening. And then we hit the date line and went back a day. We went back a day, 24 hours, and at the same time went forward an hour. And I was just like, I don't know what's happening. It's crazy. But yeah, we do have rest hours, but it does vary. There's no like law to say that, you know, you have a certain amount of sleep, you work when you work. And the hardest, the worst I ever heard, not the worst, that's really the wrong choice of words. I heard about the deli, the bread and stuff like that. So we have a baker on board. We have everything downstairs. We have a baker, a butcher, a candlestick maker, and all those things. And I heard that the person in the deli, he'll finish work and then he has to get up at like 11. He has to get up at 5 to get the bread ready for the next day. That's what I heard a long time ago, and I was like, I'll pray for you. But yeah, it's very long hours, very, very long hours. But we sign up for it, and for many people, it's a very good income. For everyone, it's a very good income because it's tax-free. Yes, that's why Americans, you won't see too many American crew members, because American crew members are the only ones that pay tax. However, we all get paid in dollars. So the exchange rate from dollars to English, I prefer to get taxed, if I'm honest. The exchange rate is tragic. So it's all right. It's all right now, yeah, because we lost the prime minister and Brexit and stuff. It's great. Yeah. What's that? The pound did. So now is a good time to transfer money. Yes. Thank you. But yes, we do have rest hours, but it does vary, and we just use that port time a lot, and we can nap like kings. If you give me 20 minutes.
See the poles in the way.
Gone. I've never slept so well on a ship, honestly. As soon as I get when I finish work, straight to that pillow, done. Yes, ma'am.
No idea, you're all good to go. Thank you. Hello, how are you? Dylan? You need to get a refund. I'll complain.
Any plans to make the crew talent show a more reoccurring thing? I agree with you. It should be. It should be, but it can't obviously affect the general operation. These people have to do other jobs as well. That's me talking corporates down, But if it was just me, I'd be like, yeah. But at the same time, I was saying though, I wouldn't want to do it every week. I don't think I'd like to do it every week because I was so moved by how special that event was. I think that it was a special event because it was different from anything you guys have seen before. And I think if we just really tried to turn it out every week, it might lose some of its appeal. One thing about cruise ships is we do the same thing every week. When you guys leave, we do a 4-day, and every 4-day we'll do the same thing. We'll do the same events, same things, different jokes, same events, different guests, things like that. We do the same events, same thing, copy and paste. So to do something different like that is very special to us, and I think that shows to you, and that's what kind of made the event so special. I think if we kept trying to do it every week, we might lose some of the sparkle. I do agree that it was a great event because, speak Lord, I was crying like a baby. Matt came back to me backstage and tapped me on the shoulder and I turned around like it was so emotional. Literally, as soon as the crew member went out, I was like, I've never been so proud. I was so happy to see people who deserve the limelight out there, There's so many people that work so hard. Yeah, of course.
Another difficulty is that all the crew members disembark and get replaced at different times. So there would be constant rehearsals all the way through every cruise, and then somebody might disembark and their replacement might not be able to sing. So then we've got to put out a notice and say, does anybody want to join in? And logistically, it's a lot. It is a lot because it took a lot of time to get that up and running. But I completely agree. If there was a way that we could standardize it was such a special event. But it was great.
Rotate. Oh yeah, that's true. But for instance, the way we had to do it, I started asking for people the first week of the cruise, and then I had to make a poster and put it downstairs, and then when people would message me saying I'm interested, I was like, cool, and then I had to go and contact the department head and be like, listen, this person's doing it. It took a long time, so every time I was with the event, I would be with guests all day, and then part of my job is guests, but I have a lot of other stuff I need to do because I'm the manager. So I'd have to do that. So yeah, it took a while, but there must be a way. I mean, I'm just like, when we're in Australia, we have a few cruises where it's like we have a 14-day, a 10-day, a 12-day. So probably those cruises will probably whack it on stuff like that. But yeah, good question. Yes, sir. Did I bring clothing along for the snow in Sydney? Well, we've just come from Alaska, so I've got the snow gear anyway, so thank you so much. It's not snowing in Sydney. It's what? It's raining a lot. It's supposed to be sunny in Sydney. Oh, sweet Lord. I've been lied to. Yes, ma'am. Sorry, I can't hear you. Matt and Deshaun. So, you do a lot of high energy shows. What kind of training do you have to do to get in shape for those shows? To do 2 a night? Yes, okay.
That's a good question, because it's a fine balance. A lot of people think you've got to rehearse all the time, you've got to go to the gym all the time, you've got to, which in a sense we do, but at the same time, we can't go to the gym and hammer out 2 hours a day, because by the time the next show comes, or the show in the evening, you're exhausted. You can't lift, you can't sing because you've been screaming all day. And it's the same with rehearsals. We can't rehearse all the time because then you're just too tired for the second show. Which is another reason why we get a day off per week, is because we need our bodies to catch up with itself. But a lot of the time, the way that these shows work, when we're learning the shows, we learn very much, say, 3 numbers a day. And then you'll run those 3 numbers and get your body used to those numbers, get it into your muscle memory. And then the next day you'll add on another 2 numbers whilst rehearsing those. So you build up the show really gradually. And then while you're learning the next one, you'll be running that one. So by the time we get on board, kind of all the shows are up and running, they're in our bodies, so we can just kind of go, okay, let's hammer this out. There are days where we have to take it right back. And as individuals, we have to go, okay, look, my energy levels are down here today, didn't sleep well, maybe somebody's come down with something, then you have to take it right back, take it easy. Sometimes you might be like, right, I've had my Red Bull, I've been to the coffee shop, I'm good to go. And like do you know what I mean? You've got to kind of figure out where your body's at that day so that you don't get injured. But another big thing is diet. If you go up and you're like, do you know what, I'm going to watch what I eat, I'm only going to eat salads, you're never going to make it through the show. You've really got to be careful of what we eat so that we can have those long energy burning carbs and those kind of things to push us through the show and get us through it. Yeah, it's a fine balance of loads of different things.
So I mentioned this probably in the second class that I had, but when singing and like dancing stuff takes a lot of discipline, and one thing that, fortunate for me, I grew up doing sports, and so you have to be very disciplined to get through, especially playing football and rugby. You have to be super disciplined. And one thing that stuck out to me when I was younger was that a maestro said that we need more people, we need more athletes in musical theater and in opera and stuff like that, because you get these people that come in that are already disciplined, that have the fortitude to go on and keep going and keep going and keep going. But I mean, the same with dancers that have been dancing their whole lives, they're athletes as well. And so it's kind of just like, you can train, and you can train to be disciplined and to keep at it, but like you said, there's a bunch of other things that factor into, like diet and stuff like that. But for me, it's like, and there's a bunch of other athletes and stuff like that, but it's just like staying disciplined and having that, getting into music and then you kind of pull stuff from your athletic side into the stage, and so it keeps you going and going and going. And that's why, like with diet, like I said, I remember there was a guest a few weeks ago on this cruise, saw me walking up with my food, and whenever I eat at lunch, I eat a lot because I usually go to the gym before lunch, and I like to lift weights, and so I eat like 3 pieces of chicken, a bunch of vegetables, I'll have another salad, and then I'll have some like rice, maybe some fish. I eat a lot. But you have to give your body what it needs throughout the day. You gotta make it through.
All I do is eat salads. What is a temple? So let's go with this, shall we? You said.
No, mi que me pida.
Sorry, what? He said, the gentleman just asked, how often do we do marriages? He just got married yesterday by his room steward. Are you telling you're having a laugh, you are joking. Madam, tell me the truth, because I know this man. I know how many jokes he's told me this cruise. You have to live with him, exactly. He's joking. There's no way his room steward did it. If he did, his room steward did not know what he was agreeing to. He's like, okay, sir. People do get married on ships though. I think they paused weddings for a while because of COVID. They had to strip things back, but now they're starting them back up again. In Australia, I don't know whether we're going to be doing them just yet, but we will be bringing them back because America, we've just started really opening things back up and doing things again, and we're going to do the same for Australia. Yes, sir. And you can get the captain to do it, or you can get your own person to do it. Yeah, you can ask the captain to do it. But yeah, I used to DJ weddings on a cruise ship. And do you know what, the worst things to host for Fun Squad, because I'm going to tell you now, I'm not a DJ, and sometimes guests used to bring you a phone, right, and they'd be like, this is my first song, this is this, right, and they wouldn't download the first song, they'd have it on YouTube, and they get on the ship and they don't realise that the internet is amazing. So I'll start playing the song and it'll be like, we were just kids when we fell in. And that was it. And I'd be like, great, I just ruined her first dance. So that was high pressure. That was good. But yeah, they do weddings eventually. Yeah. Yes, sir, you got a question? My expenses? Women. No, I'm joking. I have 5 different baby mamas. One in each port. 6 ports, sorry. I was good in the 6th port. I just had a quiet drink that day. I was working tenders, I couldn't do anything. Our expenses as crew, we have to pay for internet. So we pay for the internet. We get WhatsApp for free. Woo! Which is a new thing, which I'm thankful for. You know, can't send pictures or videos though. No, we took that away from us, and they gave it to us after. You know, we should have had it really when we started cruising again from the pandemic, but they just gave it to us now, and everything's getting better. But you know, no judgment with Carnival. Our only expenses are alcohol. If you want to buy alcoholic beverages, we have to pay for those. Internet, and that's it. And we also, if you have a room steward, we tip our room steward. That's it. But technically, other than that, you can live on a ship for free. You don't have to do anything else, you know. But if you do that, you'll want to die because you need to go out for some sanity, and you need to get a drink every now and again, or you need to buy the internet to call home or something like that. So you do pay some money, but yeah, tax free, bills included. You don't have to pay for a room or board. You do have to tip your room steward. Yeah, that's about it.
I know for someone like me and Matthew, it's like kind of different Because like I after Nashville, I moved back with my parents and don't have no rent, don't pay no groceries, but I do have those lovely things we like to call student loans. So thankfully, I paid off 2 of my student loans, and since being here, thank you.
Don't clap, he's American. It's going to take him 20 more years to pay the rest.
I got $2,000 more left, so
That's not bad.
oh, we can tell. We can tell.
But yeah, but like bills at home, like on the ship, not too many. Steve was next. How the dining room staff carry so many plates. Have you ever had an arm wrestle with one of them? They will snap your arm off. I've never seen them drop one either. I've never seen them drop one. The only time they drop one is usually if a guest bumps into them or is doing stuff. But I've seen guests like, back up into one of them and go like this. Pirouette, like, catch them all and stuff like that. They're insane. They're just, I mean, they do it every single day. It's like muscle memory now. It's like an extension onto their own body. So yeah, I've never seen them drop them. But yeah. And this lady. They wear everything underneath. Go on, how'd you get dressed so fast?
We do have little tricks. Okay. We do have little tricks that we do. We have. Sorry, that was a loud laugh at the mic. So we do have stage hands, and a lot of the time it's the guys that bless them, they work in like deck and engine and stuff like that, and then they come and they help us backstage, and they absolutely love it, and they'll help us get changed. If we don't have time to run back.
I'm just saying, of course they love it. It's like, oh no, a naked woman running at me.
But then it's trapped, and actually it's me, like, get me changed. So they come and help, and it's great. So if we don't have time to make it into the dressing rooms, which are kind of backstage and behave, if we don't have time to do that, we'll get changed here in the wings. If you sit like on the sides, here and here, you can sometimes like get a glimpse of us like struggling to get our stuff on.
Don't sit on that side tonight.
Oh yeah.
Full dance belt in it back there, so.
Yeah. Literally, it's gonna be like packed either side now. But we also our shoes. This is the worst question to ask, Andy. On our shoes, we do take out the laces and we replace them with elastics, so we can just whip them off. The buttons on our shirts, they're just sewn on the top. Underneath are actually poppers or snaps, so you can just rip it off. Did anybody see Studio VIP, where the nerd costume gets like ripped off? That happens backstage as well. We're just tearing stuff off. It's hysterical back there because there's more choreography back there that happens on the stage, and there are clothes everywhere, all over the place. The backstage hands have them just all over them because we've just run past and just thrown them. I'm sorry? Sometimes they go missing. Yeah, good manager. So sometimes they go missing, but a lot of the time, Roberto, who's one of the managers back there, or John, oh yeah, he was great. Who sang? Is he here? Oh, there he is at the back, Roberto. Hi. He was great in the crew show. Oh, here he comes. So he'll a lot of the time find our stuff. The shows would not run without this man. Would not run without him. So yeah, there's just loads of tricks that we do. And a lot of it is just helping each other. The stage hands helping us helping them to be in the right place at the right time. Sometimes it doesn't happen. And with that, then you'll just do an on-the-spot reblock on stage until they get on. So,
Beautiful. This lady.
I love my dad and my mom all together.
I got you one.
I know.
You want to grab it? I'll be it.
And well, sorry, what she asked, sorry, was how do you handle relationships? How do you keep in contact? How do you keep the spark alive? And family as well. Let's talk about family rather than relationship. Families, you know, if you ever want to see where the free internet is in the port, follow the crew members. Because they will go straight to where the free Wi-Fi is and they will go call the families. There's, you know, a lot of the crew members are a lot more dedicated than I am. I don't think I've called FaceTime my mum and dad in a very long time. Because in Alaska, there was nowhere to get internet. It was just tragic. Not even on the ship and everywhere else. Yeah. And the time zone was such a big skip. So yeah, we call each other FaceTime and stuff like that. That's about it. Way back when in the day, though, they didn't even have FaceTime, so you used to have to send letters, you know. So it's a lot better for us now. As far as relationships go, I started this contract with a different girlfriend, and I hadn't. Sounds bad. No, I didn't just swap. I just go like, it wasn't like that. I had a different girlfriend. We'd been dating for many years, 5 years, but I hadn't seen her in 2 years. Haven't been together because of COVID and because I've been on different ships. And then we broke up because of distance. We're still friends, even though she doesn't have me on Facebook or Instagram anymore. The friendship's still there, it's strong. And here she is now. But now I'm in a different relationship with a girl that is the love of my life. She's very, very nice. Her name is Claire. She's one of the singers and dancers in the shows. Aww. She's a very, very beautiful woman. And we're going to go on our next ship together, which is going to be the Freedom and stuff like that. So they do try and keep relationships together. But for me, it's quite hard because I'm a cruise director. There's only one of me on every ship. So it's harder for me to get on ships with my partner. But if you're like a room steward or something like that, there's 20,000 of them. So it's easier for them to be with their partner and things like that. So little things like that. Yeah.
A lot of the, again, because of exchange rates and stuff like that, a lot of the room stewards and bar staff and or people who are from kind of Indonesia, Philippines and all of those places, they are here purely to fund their families. Yes. And no, they send everything home, and the exchange rate is so good that they're able to fund their family and probably the next door neighbors. So a lot of them are here purely for that, and it's this beautiful thing. Like we had a crew bingo once, and the guy he won, and it was, I think it was like $6,000 that he won. And he came running up and he was so excited, and he was like, "You've just bought my family a home." And it was just this beautiful moment where everybody went, "I get it." It just all clicked. So a lot of them are here for their families, which is why they get straight off the ship and they're like down to the Wi-Fi, or they'll go to like the post office and send everything back, and they'll live like on the buffets and stuff like that so that they can send everything home. Yeah, it's really beautiful.
You make me feel selfish because I just go on vacation to Bali. Yes, ma'am. Yes, that happens a lot. Not a lot, sorry. It happens when it's rocky. And if you ever see the stools out, it's either because of a technical issue or because of rockiness. On this cruise, it's not because of that. It's because we've put extra shows in and the stage isn't built for those shows. So we don't have the props, we don't have the stage set for it. So for instance, we've got one more show like that, which is going to be Celestial Strings. If you see the stools out, it's called an enhanced concert, which basically going to sing all the songs for you and do a performance style piece, but it's not going to be you know, with all of the props and stage, you know, prop things. I don't know what they call them. You know, stage pieces. There you go. I don't know. So yeah, we do those things as well. But if you ever see, it's rocky, because the thing is, a dancer could jump up like this, and then the stage could move, and they could roll an ankle and things like that. So it's not safe, you know. Or it's because the stage is broken, like we have a revolve. If that's broken, then we can't do certain things, so we cancel the show. Or if somebody's ill, or if whatever. Yeah. All right. Quick time fire. Yes, ma'am. Can you get cameras on a milk? How about can you get Amazon on? I'm so sorry. I could have sworn you said cameras and milk. What a mix. Weird cereal. You can get Amazon on. We have to deliver it to the port. When we get to the home port, we bring it onto the ship, and that's how we do it. All right. There's a couple at the back. How do they do it? There is no specific training. They're just freaks. No, they're just really. Honestly, there's no. The thing is with cruising, we're all people persons. People. If you don't like people, this is the wrong job for you, and you will be gone very quickly because you'll be miserable. So these people enjoy people, and they get to know you, and they see your name written down every single day in their little sheet, so they get it in their head, and they help them and stuff like that. I try and be good at names. I've learned a fair few, but you know sometimes it is hard. Yeah, they're just amazingly talented. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no training we provide. There's nothing, no special numerical system we do. It's just them. It's all them. You know. Yeah, quick question over here. There's another one. Yes, sir. I have no idea what your question is there, sir. I'm not gonna lie. I heard something about a thong and something about a flip-flop. Oh, when do we train for the different audiences? We don't really. The crew, we don't really have much training, but at the minute we have like consultants on. You know, for those of you who might know Eli, he's another cruise director. He's retired from Carnival. He's no longer a cruise director. And Desi, the maitre d', a lot of you might know Desi. Both of them have retired from Carnival. Both of them no longer work for us. But we brought them back as consultants because they know Australia, for instance. They were in Australia for many, many years. And a lot of people have left because, you know, COVID happened. A lot of people found new careers, new things like that. So we brought them back as consultants, and they're teaching us about the Australian crowd and different things. You know, the getting people off the ship in Australia is different to America. The fun of show off on a board presentation where I tell you about the ports, that's different because I have to warn guests about water snakes, jellyfish, sharks, things like that I don't usually do. All right. Well, apparently I need to do it. I don't know. It's better to warn people the most than then, I don't know, set expectations. And what? Blue-ringed octopus, droppers. They're a thing, you know. Droppers. You have to wear a hard hat when we go out in Sydney. Yeah, it's true.
I ain't getting off the ship.
Yeah. You have to check your shoes and socks and stuff. Oh, honestly, can't wait. Yeah. But we don't have specific training, but we have these people that are helping to do it, you know. And certain events that we do in America just won't work in Australia. And Australians don't do as many line dances as Americans. If I was to go to Australians and go, "Hi guys, we're going to do a cha-cha slide 15 times this cruise," they would tell me to, things like that. They want to dance to the music themselves. They don't want to do line dances. So this is that little thing. Let's set the nut bush. You guys love the nut bush. The nut bush is like the wobble basically in the Australian mating dance. Do I know how to do it? Oh yeah, I know how to do it. I really need to go because Bingo's going. Yes, sir, you had a question?
No. I need an extra large. Maybe a
So it's like, it goes like this. Captain is in charge of all of the souls here on board. All of the souls, alright? So he's in charge of everybody. Point period. And then he's in charge of the deckhands. So the people who drive the ship. And then we have the chief engineer. He's like the captain, but for the engines. So they're like the engine room and stuff like that, and running the ship and how it's moving and stuff like that. He still answers to the captain, but he's kind of like his own little thing. Then you have the staff captain, who's the right hand to the captain. He is in charge of disciplining all the crew. So if we do anything wrong, he's the one that's going to fire us. All right, so you don't kind of want to see him too much. Then you've got the safety officer, then training officer. Safety officers in charge of safety. Training officers make sure that we all know how to do our jobs in terms of emergencies. And then it goes to the hotel operations. We have the hotel director. He's in charge of all of the different departments. So he's in charge of entertainment, housekeeping, beverage, food. All those different departments all answer to him. So he's the top of the pyramid. And then you have my boss, he's the entertainment director. You have beverage, housekeeping, food. And then technically on paper, when it comes to ship terms, I'm a higher rank than my boss. So I'm a 2-stripe officer. I don't have the outfit. I know, right? Livid. But yeah, so I'm technically a higher rank in terms of safety than my boss, but he's my boss still. I use that against him when I can though. But because I got off the ship last with the captain. Yeah, so we share a boat together, hug each other. And then, so that's kind of the rank, and then it goes down from there. But yeah, that's like the basics. Yeah, that's like the pyramid scheme. Anyway, alright, we need to go. God, this Q&A was not long enough. Where's the other one? Alright, folks. Now, before you do anything, I'm going to start promoting this over the PA system. But I'm going to tell you all now because you're in the room and it's a big crowd. In Sydney, when we get to Sydney, alright, I'm going to promote this, but just to let you know already, at 5:30 in the morning. Wow. Stupid o'clock, as we say in Australia and in England, I as well. But at 5:30 in the morning, we're going to be arranging everybody to go to the Lido deck, and we're going to be coming into Sydney Harbour. And there's going to be a lot of media, there's going to be helicopters taking pictures, and all sorts of things. If you want to be a part of it, be a part of it. If you go into it, Andy, shut up, that's too early. Oh, you stupid boy. You don't have to be a part of it. But if you want to be a part of it, 5:30 a.m, the day of, we're going to get everyone prepared, alright? I'm going to be saying that, alright? If you've not done so already, make sure you send me pictures of yourselves and some crew members. So I'm trying to make a video for us all as like a big thing that's, for our crews. So if you have any pictures of yourself and crew members, take those pictures and send them to me at Andy Entertainment on Facebook. Alright, folks? Right. I do have Instagram as well, Andy Entertainment on Instagram, and Andy Entertainment on OnlyFans.